welcome to Full 42. We're talking about games that should be a television show today. And a bunch of other stupid stuff, right? Board game mostly related. So what's been going on? Hi, everybody.
That's Luca crying or screaming in the background. What's today's date? I don't even know what today is. 18th.
I don't know, 19th? 18th.
18th.
Yeah.
Writing on the back of this thing. How's everyone doing? What's going on? Good to see you all, Bueller. Thanks for being here, Dave. I assume that's Tim. Yes.
Bueller. Yeah, so we're talking about those games and stuff. We have announcements. I think I will say, I mean, we'll get into all the little rules and stuff that we talked about that we're going to add to that as well, right? But for the most part, I just picked stuff that was fun to think about. So,
yeah, I kind of went with that too. It was hard. There's some on the list that I feel like I would love to see in the game's world, but there's already stuff that exists in it, right? Like, for example, I'd love, and well, I won't say anything because maybe it'll take something away from you. But like, there are games that I would like to see done, but I feel like there's something else that exists that's kind of very similar. So.
Yeah, I have one in mind that it was the first thing that popped in my head. I was like, oh wait, that kind of exists already. Yeah. So
there's some that are like, yep, that already happened.
Hey, Andrew.
So we'll see. Howdy, everyone. Alan, next year, man. Next year.
Yeah, you got the QSCon coming up.
What? Is it this week?
Yeah. Is it next week, next month, something like that?
Do you want to say hi? Or you want to run around? Come here. No? Okay. Yeah, it's actually tomorrow night is kind of the official or unofficial kickoff. Will be at QSCon Tuesday at Bullfinch. A couple people are coming into town, and then do some pre-gaming, and then Wednesday is setup, and then moving the library in, getting all the tables ready, getting the vendors set up, and then showtime Thursday morning. So
that's crazy, running your own convention. How many years have you? How many years?
It's technically so it started in 2018. The first one was 2019. So it was all like that planning leading into it. So this would be the 5th anniversary, but there was that little blip in the matrix that shut the world down for a while.
Did you do one in 21?
2020 we didn't have it. 21 we came back.
Okay, all right. So why? Wait. 18, 19.
Well, 18 started the QSCon buzz and the QSCon Tuesdays. The first con was 2019.
Oh, okay.
This is only the 4th convention.
This is your 4th one. Very cool.
So next year will be the
sold
5th
out?
year anniversary.
Oh, that goes by quick.
So you'll be here. I already got confirmation that Tim and Mike and Bob are coming, so they'll be here. So it'll be.
I like how you just volunteer that I'll be there. That's cool.
You'll be there. Obviously, I mean, you and Aaron have to come. It's been 2 years now that you've been promising, so you and Aaron have to come next year.
I've been promising to try, and I have tried.
Okay. Master Yoda would be very upset with you.
All right. Well, I got a year before you get very upset with me. Got it.
You have a year.
And speaking cons, we also, well, I guess I'll do that in announcements, right? You want to talk about announcements? We got several announcements.
We should do announcements, yeah. I mean, I guess that was part of the announcements. QSCon's this week.
That's true. It's a little late, but I mean, you're sold out, right? So announcements, you can't go.
Yeah, announcements. Yay.
But yeah, we, Cardboard Alchemy, the company I work for, has a Potion Con coming up. And that's I have a little thing here. Bam. Potion Con.
Yay.
October 20th and 22nd. It's an online con, so you can join. Anybody can join. Anybody can show up. We got all kinds of people. We're doing all kinds of silly stuff. In fact, one of the silly things is you and I have a show on Saturday, the 21st.
Yeah.
And we're doing top 5 games that fans of Flamecraft would like. I think is how we worded it.
Right.
or would enjoy. Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, like if you like Flamecraft, if you like what Flamecraft does, mechanisms in it, the art, whatever. If you like Flamecraft, you'll like this. So
Yeah. So I think I'm blocking the little thing at the bottom. Yeah, October
Yeah,
22nd. Yeah, so check out cardboardalchemy.com. Come
Yep.
join and all that stuff.
I think we'll have a giveaway or something for that as
Yeah.
well. It
Yeah,
might
there's a lot of fun giveaways.
have something to do with this.
Yeah. Also, I mean, it's right before our October 24th Kickstarter, and I just got our prototype in, and it's gorgeous. The whole thing. I mean, it looks like a finished product, and I even know it's not. But I mean, it's so. You see that better right there? Critic Kitchen. I think that's all I'm allowed to share.
You showed. Oh, you're not allowed. All right. So I saw some pictures of what's inside that box, and it's fancy. I mean, it's what you would expect from a follow up to something as massive as Flamecraft. It looks beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, there's Brad.
Hey, Brad. Good
Yeah,
to see
the
you.
giveaways, all kinds of stuff to get. Yeah, I don't actually know what things I'm allowed to share just yet, because there are some people that are going to share things, and we don't step on any toes or anything like that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's going to be a lot of Critic Kitchens and Flamecrafts and Andromeda's, I hope, because I haven't played Andromeda's Edge in a long time, and I want to jump into one of those games. So
Yeah, we played it on the show. That was the last. I think you were cameraman. I don't even think you were playing.
yeah, I haven't gotten to play since then. I've been a little busy with the Critter Kitchen thing since then.
Sure.
So.
Makes sense.
But yeah, so it's going to be busy all the way through till end of October. So once Thanksgiving hits, basically, I'll get to rest.
Yeah, sure. That'll be the way it works.
Well, the crazy thing is, I'm going to BGG Con, and the last day or so of the Kickstarter is still going to be while I go.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah. Smart move, right?
Nice.
So, hopefully it'll be just easy coasting. We'll have it all set and stuff, but
Sure.
the Silic, I threw that away. No, I can't show that. Yeah, I know. Conventions and everything coming up.
Yeah, Wayne, what are you doing in Tampa? Which one is down in Tampa?
Yeah.
It is. We've talked about it a couple times on the show, but with the growth of the hobby exponentially over the past couple of years, if not past 10, but more over since the pandemic, or just before the pandemic, it's so nice. It's kind of frustrating, but it's so nice that no matter where you are in the country, you could basically go to a convention a weekend. Like there's always something going on. Whether it's a small local one in your community or something big when you hit the big ones over the course of the year, there's always something to do. Necronomicon, nice.
That's a great con name.
It's pretty good. Although I do have to say, and I'll say again, not this past weekend, the weekend before, I was lucky enough to go to Tara and John's wedding, Gilmore Long. And theirs was called Matricon, and I think Matricon was really I like Leprechaun, but I like Matricon was really good too. It was just a gaming wedding, a convention wedding. It was really, really clever.
Yeah, back in the day when I had Kraken Games. Oh wow, nice. Back in the day, whenever I had Kraken Games, we wanted to do a Crack Con, but
that probably would be weird.
Yeah. Hey, Evan. Whoops, wrong button. But also, hi, Shannon.
Hi, Shannon. Yeah, PokeCon. I don't know about PokeCon. I think that's a little misleading, right? A lot of
PokeCon? What is that?
Nah, PokeCon would be weird too. We want to put on a convention down in the Poconos, which is in Pennsylvania. So it'd be PokeCon, but that's yeah.
Is this making fun of my name? I can't tell.
The CrackCon?
No, that.
Oh.
If I was a girl, my parents told me I was going to be named Andromeda.
I think that.
Yeah, that is better.
No, that's sounds like a strain, a Kogan
Oh.
strain.
Oh, I see.
Not your name, although
Jimmy
Kristen.
Crackcon. That's
Yeah,
funny.
that's good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna get lost in the
We sure are.
puns if we keep this going down this road.
Yep.
More announcements. I turned off the announcements banner, but we're not done with that because we have Lucas painting, right?
I do. I have number 32. This 32nd painting we've looked at.
So we like to look at his son's paintings and try to figure out how crazy we are by what we see in them.
We're doing your painting. Say hi.
I think the last few times I've actually really I've liked them a lot because they have the orange and blues and stuff in them.
Look, say hi.
There he is. There's the
You
artist.
want to hold it up? Oh, he wants to show you.
Yeah.
We
did
done? Okay. Okay. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.
Say bye. Say bye.
Yeah. Yep. Do that on camera. That's great.
That's good. Better than something else you could have done. So yeah, this is today's. It's from February, so it's fairly old. It's still on the 3x3s. So these are one of the earlier ones that he was doing, and that's today's.
Ooh. No orange this time, but I do like the colors.
Yeah.
Getting flower vibes for me. Blue bonnets or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. What do you see?
I see a bird in a bath.
A bird and a bat. Maybe if it got ran over.
This is the bird, and he's in the bath. This is the bath.
Where's the bird?
That's his head and the beak and the feather and the wings coming out. That's his tail.
Oh, okay. I see it. Yeah, you're crazy. I don't see it.
I mean, that's what I see.
Oh, bird over flowers. I guess other people see the bird. Oh, the gray. The gray is the bird.
I mean, this whole thing is the bird. This is all the bird.
No, I see the gray is the bird, but
could be.
Blue is a puppy kicking up dirt. Oh, I can see that over on the right. Like that's his tail over there. Yeah. Flower field with cotton candy middle. Sees a totally different bird. Yeah, I could show you a different bird.
Well done.
Yeah, I like the colors though.
Purple's yeah, they're really neat.
Classics. Yep.
The blue, the light purple, pinkish, the dark purple.
Yeah. I like that one. Nothing too twisted in that one, so I think we're all sane this week. We'll see next time.
I think it's okay. I think we're not as angry as normal.
Next, our next show, not our next show, but the show that we're doing at Potion Con, you ought to put the stuffed dragons in front of Luca and see if he'll try and paint those.
Try and paint the dragons? Yeah. That'll be good. Yeah, he did you saw the Hera one that he did. Yeah, I'm sure he would. Yeah.
All right. Any other? We got Scryfly show coming up this week. Hopefully you can make it. I know you got CoosCon to worry about first, but it'll be me, my brother Daniel, and hopefully you to talk about Ahsoka episode. What are we on? 7 now?
This will be 6.
6. Yep. We're on 6.
Yeah, I'm going to come back from the festivities tomorrow and watch it. And then if we can do it tomorrow night, that would be great.
We'll try.
If it's Wednesday, I'll just do it from the hotel. It doesn't really. I mean, I'm hopefully have everything set up like before dinner, go to dinner, come back, and be able to not lose my mind on day 0. But
yeah, well, I mean, we've been loving the series. Spoilers that we love every episode, but we've been talking about it constantly, and every episode of Ahsoka, we create an episode of Scryfly on this channel, and you can watch it there. So. Obviously spoilers, so watch Ahsoka first.
I'm not going to miss it. So wherever if I'm in the car, I don't care where I am. I'll be on. Because I can join from my phone. I've done it before. So
yeah. Are you doing a Let's Play at CoosCon?
I'm sure. I mean, everyone will be together, so I'm sure we'll figure out some way to do it. I don't know who or what. I know West and I are doing something fun with that Doka Ryan stuff and the drinks, the mixed stuff.
Cool.
and then all the other people that I know. They're planning. Thursday is unofficially Dinosaur Day. They're playing nothing but dinosaur games. There's a bunch of them that are only playing dinosaur games on Thursday for Dino Games. So
Showing the birds.
is that a chicken?
Yeah, 2 birds,
2 chickens.
1 stone. Yeah. So I mean, it's weird for 2 idiots who are making a lot of content, and we're really busy despite all that. But
I know.
Yeah. So
idle hands, right?
yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Well, it's also, I mean, we're very lucky to be in a position where we can our job, our careers are in the industry. So like, it doesn't really feel like work when we're, playing games, playing prototypes, talking about Star Wars. Like all of it is just all in our wheelhouse of what we do. So
Yeah. I mean, I spent all day in spreadsheets, but yeah.
I did not.
Those days happen too. Sometimes I kind of like them. I'm weird that way. So
That's not true. Over the weekend, I did. I had to put the library together. Jason and I went over to the storage unit, spent a bunch of hours organizing and wrapping the racks so they could be moved on Wednesday. And I took pictures of every rack, and then I took pictures of each of the shelves on every rack. And when I came home, I uploaded them into the Google Sheet so I can share it with the attendees so they have like an idea of what's going to be there, so they don't have to bring stuff that's already there, or they know like, oh, this game's not in the library, so I should bring it. So I was in a spreadsheet for
a lot of work.
A few hours on Saturday.
It's a lot of work. It's like what, 2, 3 games, 4 games in your
Yeah,
library?
it's only like a handful. Like I can carry them in like an all-play bag. It really wasn't much.
That'd be a lame library. It's like
Yeah,
this is that kind of games.
It's going to be 7 copies of Monopoly, Silver and Gold. And,
Oh god. Yeah, your attendance just started dropping.
a couple copies of Uno. What are you doing, lunatic?
Well, there's somebody that likes Monopoly. That's fine.
Sure.
All right. So why don't I turn off this stupid announcements banner?
Yeah,
I can turn on like and subscribe. I bet you all the people watching right now have already hit that like button.
Already like and subscribe.
Yeah, they've probably all done it. In
Well,
fact,
that's
we're
good.
not going to move on to the subject until
We're going to be. No, Shannon, I'm not knocking it. Silver and Gold is one of my favorites. I'm actually saying like that'll be the highlight of the library. There'll be all these copies of Uno and all these copies of Monopoly and 1 copy of Silver and Gold, and that's it.
All right.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll do this. We'll do the thing. Let's do the thing.
Yeah. So we're talking about top 5 games that should be a TV show. So caveats and all that stuff. I think we agreed no big IPs, right? Because there's already Star Wars. There's already Lord of the Rings and stuff like that, right?
Well, yeah, like you're not going to take the Outer Rim and make it a game. You're not going to take Lord of the Rings, the card game, and make it a series. Like it's not. That's
it already is. Yeah.
Right. I hope that's obvious. But I mean, like big IPs, I didn't necessarily leave big IPs off the list. But my for example, on the bottom of my list are ones that are like, it would be really cool to see this because of the content and how neat that would be. But something like it already exists. And I don't want to say anything just in case it's on your list. So I'll save it to the end where we can talk about.
Yeah, like I was saying, like the first thing that popped in my head immediately, I was like, oh, wait, that already exists kind of in this way.
Right.
So I didn't put it on there, but I don't mind mentioning it and stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about all those exceptions afterwards, right?
We should do that.
That way we don't step on each other's stuff. There's one other one. So there's one that I didn't make on here just because it comes from a book. And I was like, is that an IP? I don't know. But
Sure
I think it would have been pretty cool. So, but I didn't.
Definitely. Books.
So we'll talk about this.
IP is intellectual property. I mean, that's movie, TV, books. It doesn't
right, but there's not already a TV series like that. But it kind of is. It'll make sense once we talk about those after the list. But
okay.
All right. Do you want to go first?
Your pick. I don't care.
All right. Why don't you go first?
I will go first.
And while you're thinking about what you're going to put up there, I'm going to do the thing where I can share the screen.
We can share the screen?
share the screen.
Oh,
Yeah, because I want to bring it up. All right, go ahead.
All right, so I'll get the big one out of the way because I don't know if you'll say it or not. Flamecraft.
Oh, yeah. Obviously it would be weird for me to say it since I work for the company, but
Right, but you could still want, as a fan, you could still want to see that as a TV series. Like I would love to see that. It wouldn't be like, at least in my head, it wouldn't be some sort of like epic drama twists, like traitors shit going on. It would just be a cute, fun, kind of like.
How would it blow your mind if it was, though, right?
It'd be pretty epic if like all the dragons with all the potions were just like mind controlling the humans. Like that would be sick. Yeah. No, but something fun and cute, like, you know, probably more kiddish, but like with lessons, more modern day, like Care Bear kind of stuff, like how Care Bears were cute, but they were fun to watch. Not necessarily action and drama-esque, but just like a fun, feel good kind of animated series. I think would be really fun. I'd like
actually, whenever I almost said a thing, whenever a future game concerning this world comes out, you're going to want that as a series.
Okay, I'll believe
almost
you.
said a thing. I don't know if it's been said or not, so I can't say.
Okay.
Stuff.
Okay.
But yeah. Flamebound has, pretty much anybody watching probably knows Flamebound at this point because we've talked about it before, obviously. But
Flamecraft,
the artwork, the world is just awesome, right?
You're talking about Flamecraft, yes?
That's what I said, right?
No.
Oh, well, I meant Flamecraft.
Okay.
Oops. And it just showing all the different artwork and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's so much life and character that Sindara did. And this is not, I'm not trying to plug Peter and Cardboard Alchemy in the game. Like the game is fun. It's a lightweight, gateway game where it's got cool mechanisms. The art's beautiful. So I'm not trying to we've talked about it before. We played it on the show. Just literally the artwork is just stunning. And every one of those cards, the map, the everything has so much character in it where you want to see it come to life. Like I want to see the bread dragon helping out making bread. I want to see, the meat dragon grilling. Like I want to see that stuff with motion to it. And I don't necessarily think it needs to be very cartoony. I think it still needs to be Sandara's art, obviously. So you can't go live action. I think it's gotta have that appeal to it. But I think there's a show that he watches called Gigantosaurus, and it's almost like there's a word for it, but the way that they film the animation, it's animated, but the way that instead of it being like a straight on per second thing, they skip every other frame or something, so it almost looks like it's got a little bit of hesitation in the art style.
Oh, kind of like the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Yes. Where there's little, they take out every third frame or something, so it looks like there's a little bit of a stop motion to it. I think that with this would give it that whimsical fantasy kind of feel. So
almost like a small model feel whenever you come into the town or something. Yeah, that's kind of a neat idea.
Yeah, and you get to learn the characters, and it would be fun. It would just be a fun, a feel good kind of series for families, for kids, something like that.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I can see that as a Netflix special or something.
Yeah, I agree.
My number 5 is, I think, kind of an obvious one in a way, and there have been movies of this type of theme, obviously. In fact, I believe this game was inspired by those movies, but we haven't really had a series like this. So, and it's a little bit more magical than what we've been based off of, but I would like to see Lost Ruins of Arnak. You have different characters and stuff, and they're traveling, they're going through these ruins, the ruins and stuff. This is the thing about this game. It's a great gameplay, but you turn over those runes and they look amazing. I feel like that artwork is almost lost in the game because, you kind of just go, oh, it's a place where I get stuff. But right. I want all the story that comes with every one of these ruins and monsters. Like the monsters are amazing looking and stuff. Yeah, and there's a leaders expansion or the artwork like pans over into this, like you can connect the boxes, and all those leaders have their own personalities and stuff like that in there. Those could be your main characters. Yeah, this is my number 5 there. But yeah, fighting the monster and stuff. Yeah, so the journal and research track, though, like the journal part at least, could be kind of the storytelling, right? Like instead of like last time on blah blah blah, it could start off with someone doing the journal in a way,
Yeah.
Thanks, Corey.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so I would love to see a series, and we haven't really had a series like we had Young Indiana Jones basically, right? But that was so long ago, and today with what they could do and shows and stuff like that.
Yeah. So that's funny, and I'll leave it for a second, but that's a good one. That's funny. So I'll go right into my number 4 because I almost put down Arnak as my pick, as one of my picks. But I felt like Evan was alluding to, like the journal and the research track, and like it would be, I don't know how you'd have the characters going. Like it seemed like it's just one story, and I guess it could be episodic. But I went with Quest for El Dorado.
Oh, okay.
And I put in parentheses indie adventure.
That's funny.
Like a young Indiana Jones-esque kind of thing where they're going through, but there's multiple people trying to do it, and they're going. They got to go into the caves and they got to climb the mountains and they got to ford the river or whatever. But
there was a Disney movie, right?
I use this for that pick for the adventure series. I have 2, but this was my indie adventure pick.
There was that Disney movie, right?
For El Dorado?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like to use the GIF on it all the time, where they're like both. Yeah.
Both is good.
Both is good.
Yeah. Yeah. So Arnak and El Dorado, both is good.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. I think it's fun. I think you could add some character to it. I think it would be fun to have maybe some twists and turns where Arnak would have the monsters that they'd have to fight, but everyone's fighting different monsters. It's not necessarily like there's a monster in your way and one person's going towards it, and then there's another monster in the way and someone's going towards it. This would be like there'd be different challenges or different things, like the bridge would break or like whatever, something would happen, and you'd have your cliffhangers literally in the game as you went. So either one of those I think would be fun, but in that Indiana Jones adventure style as a series, I think it would be like a more modern young indie would be really fun.
Isn't Gloom basically the Addams Family?
Yeah.
In a way, only it's different families. Yeah, but yeah, that would be funny.
Yeah.
My number 4 is one most people have heard of, and at first I thought, oh no, that's been done and stuff. But I have an idea of how it could be done that would be unusual. So it's Trail and House on the Hill.
Oh, nice.
But here's the idea. All right, so season 1, let's say it's a 6 to 8 episode season, right? So it's done really well. You get your characters, they start off getting to the house together. You don't know why they're there. Of course, there's a traitor. Something happens. All this big stuff happens. You only see some of the house. You can't cover every room and stuff in only 6 or 8 episodes, right? And then at the end of the season, you finish it. And then the next season, you use the same actors, same characters, only it's a completely different scenario, as if the first season didn't happen. And you have some connections in between. So one room guy comes in, like tries a book and something weird happens. Next season, same guy comes in, tries the book and nothing happens. And then something else. You know what I'm saying? Like every season is a completely new story that happens with the same characters. I would love to see that and compare like different scenes with that.
That'd be cool.
I think that'd be really fun.
They did that with American Horror Story, where they had the same character, same actors and actresses playing different characters. But I like that idea. You give me that in the style of Werewolf by Night,
Oh yes.
Oh my god, like that would be. And I know they're releasing the color version, but like
Don't
having
watch the
that.
color version.
No, I like the color
uh,
at the end was fine, like to give it a little more whatever. But you could even do like a color version of the story and black and white versions of the story. But give me that style of give me that portrayal in that house on the hill. That would be killer. That would be a killer series.
yeah, I would love that. Yeah, so it made a list once I started thinking of it that way.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a good pick.
Cool. All right, we're on to number 3.
All right, I'll go dark with my next pick.
Go dark.
And I feel like I'm allowed to talk about it because we're not necessarily talking about how much we love the game. We're talking about how the game should be made into a series. So it's not me bragging about how much I love Arkham Horror. It's about how Arkham Horror should be a series. Right? Give me those 1920s investigators. Give me the Cthulhu lore. Give me like every season is a different monster. It doesn't even need to be like an entire series. It could be like just an episode where the investigators are going up against Yig, or the investigators are going up against Quatchel, or whatever, and give me that separation in storyline. But give me an Arkham Horror series. Like I don't know if one exists. I don't know why one doesn't exist.
There is one actually. I mean, well, sort of. Lovecraft Country is an Arkham Horror story. And it feels like one too. You have to see this show if you haven't seen it. It's on HBO. It's amazing. It's so good.
But it's Arkham Horror, like Lovecraft. I know it's Lovecraft.
It's Lovecraft. It's in that world. Now, it's not. You're not going to get the like that guy right there with the Uzi in the 30s and the like. It's not exactly that. I think it's after World War II, so it's briefly 46, 47, something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean the same kind of spookiness and weird Lovecraftian stuff with it's really good.
Okay. I've heard. I love him. I love Majors as an actor. Like he's as an actor, he is pretty versatile in what he can portray. Like look at him in Quantumania. Look at him as Kang. Like he's awesome. But I want 1920s where there's that lore, that magic. Like they don't have super abilities. They're just like these investigators. Like what the fuck? Like why me? And then there's like Shuggus comes in the road. Like I think it would just be like Arkham Horror, that with in Arkham with the newspaper and Doyle Jeffries, like all of the characters that are in there, give me them on in a series. I think that would be super fun. And you could do seasons of it too, right? Because shit's always happening.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing that little bits of Arkham Horror make it to movies and TV shows and stuff, but never the true thing, right? Never like you're in the Mansions of Madness thing. You're, nothing like that. So
yeah. There's a Halloween episode of the Shark Dog that I always talk about for Luca, and in the Halloween episode, the big, it's very Scooby-Doo-esque where there's like a reveal, but it's a giant green kraken. It looks just like it's not Cthulhu, but it's a big green kraken monster, and I'm like, all right, that's kind of cool. Hey, Matty P. What are you doing?
Hey.
What are you doing?
Kit.
Hello, Smiley Face.
Yeah, Arkham Horror. Yeah, you got to check out Lovecraft Country because that is at least in the same world,
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I once had. I'll go off on a little branch of a story. I once played in an RPG as one-off that my brother did, and it was 1930s. You think in black and white when you think like this kind of thing, but I was like a gangster who had to get out of the city because the family was against me, kind of thing. And I picked this lady up and her kid along the way. They were hitchhiking, and of course it's nighttime, and we end up on a farm road somewhere, and the car breaks down. It's all, you're already knowing where this is kind of going and stuff. Yeah. And it ends up with like the strangest, weirdest. It was like Twilight Zone / Arkham Horror thing. like faceless people and stuff. It was so crazy and weird. And of course, I had no idea what was going to happen in the game. So I love stuff like that. I would love to. Yeah, I wouldn't care if it was a. I think I'd prefer if this kind of thing was the whole season was one big story, but I wouldn't even care if it was a different thing every time, like a Twilight Zone. You know?
Right. Yeah, I think that'd be fun. What are you doing? Yep. Why are you closing your eyes and walking?
He wants to see a show like that too.
Crazy man.
What are we on? Number 3? All right, so my number
Arkham
3
was my number 3. Yep.
Yeah. I'm surprised that wasn't your number 1.
Well, you went spooky with Betrayal, so that's why I don't have them in order, right? I kind of go off what you do. You went with Arnak, I went with Quest for El Dorado. You went with Betrayal, I went with Arkham.
Did I hear the Sam Woodward? Oh, that's pretty cool.
I mean, he's in it, right? He's already got his credits. He's already been in the credits of Ahsoka.
Did he do a voice or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But now apparently he's confirmed that he's in it. But he's in it. His voice is in it, but is he in it?
That's smart. He's a good actor. So my number 3 is Cyclades.
Oh, nice.
And then the cool thing about this, so I want like Clash of the Titans style where you see the gods talking amongst themselves. And so you get a Game of Thrones kind of thing with that. They're all trying to trip each other up like through, doing this over here and this over here. Whereas you get the real fighting and battle and stuff with the humans down at the bottom where they're taking over islands and all that stuff, right? But really, it's the intrigue between the gods that I want to see.
That's cool.
I mean, I really liked the idea that like Clash of the Titans, you could see the gods and they have like little minis of the humans and they like put them down somewhere and then there's the humans fighting and stuff.
Yep.
I mean, that's almost board game right to screen, right? So
yeah, that'd be a fun series to watch. I mean, anything
also,
Greek mythology.
Yeah, it's also strange. There isn't Greek mythology series that there's a lot of movies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and also weird stuff like the Lightning Thief and stuff like that blends modern stuff with that. But yeah,
right. There's they're redoing Percy Jackson as a series.
Oh, they're redoing it?
Yeah, they're doing it as a series rather than the movies.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of, in the same genre. I would prefer it in actual Greek mythology, not like the modern thing, but that's fine. I like that kind of stuff too. It's fun.
Yeah. I mean, we end up in Olympus, so you do see the gods and the seats and everything. So there is a little bit, but it is more modern and the gods are like
I hope the gods look godlike this time. Like in that I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of like kicking that movie and stuff, but the gods like showed up and they were like, I got more muscle than them. Like it was just flabby armed. Like, man, if they're not going to work out, put some sleeves on that god outfit. That's all I'm saying.
a whole TV series of Russell Crowe as a fat Zeus.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my number 3.
That's a good one. I still need to play that.
It's a good one. Have you played Kemet?
Yeah, I like Kemet.
Okay, so I haven't played Kemet, but everybody says that these two are very similar. So.
Oh, well, that's interesting. They're both Matago. I don't know if Kemet's Matago anymore, but
it used to be.
Yeah. I think that's the edition I have anyway.
All right, what's your number 2?
All right, I'm gonna scroll up a little bit to a comment that was already made.
Yeah, I figured you'd go that way. I thought about not showing it, but it's Alan. You got to show what Alan says.
Hell yeah! Like I don't know how. I don't care how. I don't know. I don't. It doesn't need to be one game because they're all kind of in the same world. But you give me a series in Above and Below where there's the creatures underground and you're doing the thing, or give me anything in that realm. Sleeping Gods would be great. Now or later, then and now, whatever the hell the things are. Anything
near and far, you mean?
Sure, every one of them.
Later.
Give me that. Give me a series in that world with those characters and those monsters and the whimsical nature of what's going on in there. Give me that.
Yeah.
Right. And another one that would be, it could be live action. I think it loses some of its charm. I think it needed to be, it would need to be animated. And so this is my other adventure series. So the Quest for El Dorado would be my Indiana Jones kind of live action real adventure series. I'd want this one to be more online with Zelda, like some sort of Zelda-esque adventure game. Or adventure series. That's what I would want. Like there's a big bad like Ganondorf. Like there's things that are going on with those kind of creatures and that kind of stuff happening. But give me that kind of adventure.
Yeah, he launched today his new one, Creature Caravan.
Yeah,
which is I think he said the fifth or sixth game in this world.
Well, Above and Below, Near and Far, Now or Never,
Megaland,
Megaland, Sleeping Gods, Rome.
Arzium is the planet or the world.
Yeah.
The world of Arzium.
Well, there's the 8-minute. Is it 8-minute Empire? 8-minute Legends? No.
Oh, probably.
I think that's. I don't know if that's considered in the same world because those are some of the first ones that he put out. But there's at least 6, right? Above and Below, Near and Far, Now or Never, Rome, Megaland, and Sleeping Gods is 6.
Yeah.
I love the art. I love the style. I mean, it's on par with how much I love Sandara's art and those dragons. Like it's just awesome. It's so well done.
Now and later.
They're also good candies.
To and Fro.
To and Fro. Yep. Top and Tail. Yep. Those are all future games coming out.
Just something and something. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, he doesn't need our help promoting this. I'm sure he's already soaring with it, but he deserves it because they're great games. I really enjoy all of them and stuff. So this one has a different kind of look. Usually he goes with the yellow teal look. It's kind of cool to see the different look here.
I don't know. Is that smoke or fog or snow?
Probably like the fog coming down off the mountains or something. I would like you were saying with Flamecraft, I would like them to keep the style of this look. Like I want to see it in animation kind of thing.
I agree.
Yeah.
For sure.
Horse and carriage.
Bless you.
Evan. That's funny.
Evan will do that for the next 10 minutes.
Yep. That's Evan's job now.
Just giving because Ryan's probably watching, so you're just giving Ryan ideas for future games. So
he's just coming.
Yep.
Yeah. He needs that. He needs our help. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, Sleeping Gods is excellent. It's I don't even like cooperative games, and this one is I play it all the time.
Okay, so I still need to play it, but you've definitely sung its praises multiple times.
Yeah, this is the way to do a story cooperative game. That this is the closest it's come to like an RPG without a GM for me.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I usually complain about that, right? So.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's a pretty awesome world. So, yeah, I knew you were going to bring this up though, so I didn't put it on my list.
Yeah, it's definitely low hanging fruit, but I think that world, like to see an animated series in that world would be pretty cool. Or I mean, I don't think live action would do it. I think it would have to be
live action would be okay, but I'd feel like you'd lose the. It'd feel just like another what's that one, Wrinkle in Time or something? Not Wrinkle, Wheel of Time. And, there's a lot of these now that are coming out. And I know Wheel of Time is a big book series and stuff, but just the feel of people with magic traveling over grass for a long time kind of story and stuff. Like I'd be afraid to turn into something like that. I would want it to keep this unique look and feel that he has.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. That's the way to do it. What are you doing?
So my number 2, I don't know if you've played this one. I know you've heard of it, but someone mentioned Scythe, and I don't have Scythe in my list because that seems really dreary. The whole world and all that. I even know a lot of stuff about the world that hasn't been exposed because Jamie gave me that information once for a RPG idea, but and a lot of that stuff sounds like it'd be really cool, but from what we know from the games, it's just not enough for me. But I do have one from Stoneware Games, which is Euphoria.
Oh, interesting.
So If you haven't played it or you don't know the
Yeah,
theme,
played
basically. Oh, okay, cool. So the theme, they have like 4 different places that people are a dystopian world, right? One's totally underground, one's up in the sky and like blimps and stuff like that. And then you got like the farmers and you got like engineers. And it's like you could have 4 different completely worlds of what people are doing and all this intrigue and stuff going back and forth. And maybe there's, so yeah, I think the world would be really fascinating. Now, when you play as someone who is trying to keep the workers down, or get the workers to do what you want and all that stuff. So you would have people be that, but they probably wouldn't be the main characters. I imagine
Right.
Those would be the bad guys. So you kind of play the bad guys in this.
Yeah, and then you'd have your hero that breaks through and it changes everything. Or I mean, I don't know. It would be interesting. It would definitely be interesting to see. Also, you'd have such a dynamic between the different areas, right? That'd be really like the bright and the dark, like the light, and it would be really cool.
Yeah, you get the whole like snooty people up in the bliss area that look down upon the people and all, but
yeah. What was the did you see? I want to say Aeon Flux, but it's not Aeon Flux.
I did unfortunately.
The second season had not Sam Wilson. What's his name? The guy that plays Anthony Mackie. The second season, Altered Carbon.
Oh, Altered Carbon. Yeah.
That had that very like top and bottom, right? The people up in the sky and the people in the like, kind of like Arcane had the same thing with the top and the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved Altered Carbon.
Yeah, it was good.
Really good.
It was good. That kind of style, that would be really neat. Like very different camera angles, right? Like I loved how the Edgar Allan Poe was the bartender, but like the camera angles that they had they were non-traditional camera angles for like they were all in different spots. It was well done.
Yeah, and they could do stuff like this too. Like I would expect every world, like whenever you're in the bliss part, things are shot in different directions. The coloring is all different, Yeah, I think it'd be a pretty epic show.
Yeah, you see a lot of shimmer, right? A lot of shine, a lot of reflecting off of like gold or metallic surfaces, and then underneath it would just be like matte finish, dull, no shine, no nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that was a good pick.
All right, are we down to our number ones already?
We are down to number 1. And then when you're done,
All right.
I'll talk about ones that like would have made the list, but basically they already exist. I think this would be the coolest one. I would love, obviously I'd love to see Arkham Horror, but I think this one should be done. And I hope they end up doing it. Hey, Scott. I want to see Final Girl.
Oh, okay.
But I want it to be in the style of Twilight Zone.
Yeah, that makes sense. So that you could get all those different stories, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you could kind of do what you were saying with Betrayal, where like you could have similar characters playing similar roles, whether it's the same town, different towns, whatever. Like obviously the Final Girl would be different. The big bad would be different. But if you give me that in all of its glory, in like you just cut to like the beginning of the show is just the dire situation of what our character is going through, and then have it in that Twilight Zone-esque style. Not necessarily twists and flipping the script on its head or whatever. But give me
But you mean like a different episode every time? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool. I wonder how long because I mean they all kind of had the same thing, right? You're basically trying to survive. I guess sometimes they survive and sometimes they don't.
Sure.
The writer should play the game, and then however it ends up, that's how
that's the episode. Sure.
Oh, and you could get different writers and different directors for every episode.
Yeah.
So it'd have a different feel, and
that'd
be kind of fun.
Like the sci-fi ones, you get a really good sci-fi director, and the ones that are very like noir, you get the noir, like a really people kind of like getting Bryce Dallas Howard to do certain episodes of you know what I mean, like ones that can really make it shine. You get them to do the right people, and then you give it a closure, like give it a half an hour, 27 minutes, whatever you got to do. Give it a half an hour story. You don't have any of the build up. You just meet the character. You know the character's fucked, and we go forward. And there's just, you learn shit as you go, right? You don't know what the big bad is. You learn, right? If it's this one, then you'll learn that all of a sudden, oh my god, that's the whatever, and then you create it. It's just you inform the viewers as the episode unfolds. Be really, really cool.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
So I saved it for my last.
Yeah. And the funny thing is,
you picked Final Girl 2.
I didn't. But can you guess what mine is, based on the fact that these are related some way?
No.
Whose name is?
Oh, you went detective.
Yep.
Yeah.
Evan's on here twice, man. You know, I love this game, but the reason why I love this game is because I'm a big film noir fan. And you were just talking about Altered Carbon, and I was like, oh, don't talk about the film noir stuff because it's coming. Yeah. I don't know why film noir has this like weird niche thing where it doesn't grab everybody, and I understand that. But for me, it's like one of the best kind of feels for an environment and stuff like that. Now, Altered Carbon was great, but it's in the future. You know, and they keep doing stuff like that, like, oh, it's film noir, but now it's this or something like that. Like, I want classic, you know, Chinatown kind of feel. Like, I want this kind of stuff, you know. So I think that would be really fun. And I know that it's not, I don't know, it's not original in a way, but I haven't seen one like this in a long time.
Yeah, so. I think obviously detective cases would be a repeat, but in that style, would be different. It would be more classic, right? It would have a much more 50s, 60s feel to it than it would more modern.
Yeah, and I wondered, like, okay, do you do one, what do you call it, like one mystery per season? Because that's a long. Some of these, you know, you wouldn't take that long, but you also don't want to shove them up into one episode. So maybe you could do an arc of like 3 episodes is one, 2 episodes is one, couple more, and then you could have some kind of overarching, because this actually does have overarching arcs. Like you come back to characters you've seen before and stuff like that, you know, and these the underground characters and all that stuff, the underworld characters, not underground. Well, there are characters that go underground, but
underground characters. You could do
underworld characters, yeah.
Instead of doing 45-minute episodes and doing, you know, well, averaging 45 minutes and doing 6 of them, you could give us like short movies, like hour, 10 minutes, and give me 3 and make that a season.
Sure. Yeah. That'd be
rather than split it up like half hour, 37 minutes, 42 minutes, 28, like any of that bullshit. Give us an hour and 10 and make it 3 episodes, and that's your season. Like there's plenty of things that are season 3 episodes of season, but they're long episodes.
Oh, that sounds fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we decided to skip all the big Marvel. Otherwise, this whole list would be Marvel and Star Wars and DC.
Although I do want to see noir Spider-Man with Nicolas Cage and that overacting kind of style in a noir thing, like just to make it like a noir comedy. I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, that is the 5 through 1, basically, of what we came up with. But like we said before, we have oh yeah, by the way, like and subscribe. Do that. Hit that thing.
Yeah, do the thing.
Do the thing. But like we said at the beginning of this, there's obviously a lot of lists and stuff that came up and all. So I've got a few on here, things that like didn't quite make it, but some of them that kind of broke the rules, so I didn't put it on there. Like I said, Nick Cage is Nora Peter Parker.
Yep.
Now, Nick Cage should not play he already lost his hero license when he tried Ghost Rider, and that's the closest he got to being okay with it. So
sure.
Nick Cage can only play Nick Cage. Face off. So what are some of the ones that you had on your list? I wonder, we're not going to hit.
All right, so I have 4 on my list for various reasons. The first one is Dead of Winter.
I mean, that's Walking Dead.
Right, like but it's not Walking Dead. It's more like The Thing, right? Like, I guess it's
No,
a
I mean,
hybrid. Oh, and I get because there's a betrayer. I mean, I don't know.
yeah, there's
I don't know.
some betrayers in Walking Dead, but
Yeah,
I mean, that's one of the things I said when I played Dead of Winter was finally a zombie game that feels like I'm in The Walking Dead.
right.
Right. So
Yeah, so that seemed too easy. Twilight Imperium. I think it'd be neat with all those different civilizations and races and like fighting for.
I would love that.
Right, but it's a space opera. It's a sci-fi series that exists, right? Like that.
Yeah.
You'd have to do something different than Star Wars and Star Trek and all the things that have come.
Probably be closer to Babylon 5.
Sure. When I first started thinking about this, there were two things that immediately I wanted on my list. One was Lords of Waterdeep. But like, that's Game of Thrones, right? Like all the jockeying for positions and all the betrayal and the seedy nature of like.
Sort of. I mean, Lords of Waterdeep all happens in one city, though, Waterdeep. So everybody's so much closer and more in danger all the time. I think you could get something different. It is pretty crazy that we don't have a D&D series at this point.
Yeah.
Like it took forever for him to make a movie.
Yeah.
Which was fun.
That's not true. They had two movies prior to that just
no. But yeah, I mean, I'd even be happy if they just re-released the old cartoon one. Not re-released it, but redid it.
Right.
You know, rewrote it, all that kind of stuff. In a good way, though. You know, you don't normally do it.
I'd like to see a live action series where it had that kind of nature to it, but every time I think about it, it would be Game of Thrones without the dragons, right? It has Balin and all the stuff that all the underground bullshit and the betrayal and the backstabbery and it would have all of that stuff with what, right? Warriors at a bar drinking, like it would just feels like it's already been done. And then the other one that was like I wanted it to be on here, but it can't is Asking for Troubles.
Oh, that's funny.
I think that in a like a whatchamacallit, like an Orville kind of comedy, maybe first season Orville comedy, right? With the Lower Deck kind of style of just humor, and then all the getting these monsters, throwing him into the sun and being the champion to get paid, like all of those. Hey Rob, all of those kind of things. I don't think it would be able to be done because of all of the satire that's in it, right? The Chewbacca and the Han Solo and the like, all of that stuff.
Too much spoof. Yeah.
Right. But I think it would be super, like you give that to McFarlane and let him run with it. I think that would be really fun to create this world of just these bizarre bounty hunters and the courtesans and all the stuff that you created. I think it would be really fun. But yeah, that'd be tough. So those are mine that I was like, those two, that and Waterdeep, I was like, those are the ones that I immediately wanted to write down. And then when I started thinking about it, I was like, oh, well, Dead of Winter's been done. Twilight Imperium has been done. Like there's some variation in that. So I left them off for those reasons.
So my thought, like I had the same thought that you did with Lords of Waterdeep, but instead of Lords of Waterdeep, I thought of Dwellings of Elderville.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And I thought, oh, you could have dragons. Oh, wait, dragons are in Game of Thrones. Oh, but you could have like different. Oh, no, they have that too. Like it was like, okay. It would basically be Game of Thrones, but a lot more fanciful. Like Game of Thrones sprinkled fantasy in every now and then. They were like, here's a dragon. Okay, we're taking it away kind of stuff. Here's an undead for a little bit and then go back to people sitting at a dinner table. But Game of Thrones, I could see being epically fantasy. You know what I mean? Like it's all elves and dwarves and, dragons and magic and all that stuff. So, it could be different.
You can make anything similar but different, right? Like it's possible, but if you had to pick something that hasn't been done, like you got detective in that noir style, that would be something fun, very specific, but something that would be fun. I think the like a more modern young indie adventure series, like that would be fun. Not that it hasn't been done, just like not, everything's been done, but something that would be a little bit more unique would be the feel for it. No, don't get up there. Nope.
I thought, don't get up there. I thought I
Yeah.
thought I was looking at all my games and I had that giant box of Hellboy,
Yeah.
and I thought Hellboy as a series, live action series, would be amazing. Like, and that's kind of the problem that they've had with the movies, in my opinion, is that they're trying to take this huge world and shove it into a little movie. That would be epic as a series, like an HBO series with all the money behind it and stuff like that, you know, or even Prime. They have one that's Carnival Row, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And like if you just do that kind of level of CG and stuff like that, I think it'd be fine.
Yeah. That's
But the characters are so interesting and like deep and Hellboy that you only get just a hint of them in the movies. And then I also had the Ryan Lockett Arzium, but I knew you'd say it.
That whole world.
No. Yeah, that whole world. Also had Mansions of Madness on here, but I knew you'd probably bring up Arkham. And then the last one I put on there was Abyss.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I don't know what it would be about. That's why I didn't make the list. But it would be a pretty awesome world. I mean, it's, you know, lords and all this. Like, all I know is there's some kind of like group of lords that meet and decide stuff, and maybe people will get upset with each other. He disagrees with Abyss, I think. But I mean, Abyss. You could also bring in the Kraken and the Leviathans and all that stuff to make it a little more giant stuff.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see. Like, what would you be creating? Something definitely unique and different, right? You wouldn't want it to be like, I don't know, something that already exists or a certain type of creature that already exists. You'd be creating a whole new thing. I think that'd be really fun. What are you doing?
You're starting to animate. It looks to me like you were talking about, or every third frame.
I was?
Yeah, you started moving like
oh, great.
That kind of thing.
Hi, buddy. What are you doing?
You're being attacked by a giant baby.
Yeah, he's table dancing now, so.
Oh, I also had Rise of Tribes on here, but I can't say that one because that's my friend and boss now. That
right.
But it would be pretty epic to have like a fantasy, but before we even invent, you know, much else other than fire and wheels, and mix a little magic with it and different tribes and how they handle things and stuff. Might be pretty interesting at the dawning age of language and stuff, basically, you know. Mammoths and things like that.
Giant babies crawling on tables.
Giant babies.
Sometimes, like, I've seen streams and you know, certain channels that have, like, I don't know, a cat that sometimes runs in front of the camera and stuff. I just have a human that does this.
Yeah. I mean, I keep my cats out, but I understand that you can't lock your cats out or your human. Well, now, there you are.
There we go. And now it's going to be the Luca show.
Luca brought Matt's comment up again.
You can't touch the computer. Remember we talked about the computer? Let's not do that.
So anyway, that's our list. Can't believe Patchwork. That's funny.
Yeah, Patchwork. I saw somebody say something about Azul, a series about Azul, and that's not going to happen either. I know.
That's
what
good.
Are you doing? Where are you going?
Yeah, I know. When you were looking at the whole collection and stuff, I was like, no, that'd be ridiculous. You know, there's nothing there, you know, all that stuff. Right. You know, all the abstract games. But I did also almost pick Merchants of Venus. Like, I didn't have any other space ones or anything, but Merchants of Venus would be interesting because you go and you actually discover a new species, but then instead of scientifically caring about their civilization or anything, you're just like, what you got to sell? Like, you just discover somebody and go, okay, you got something to sell. You want to buy something? Like, so I guess the people in charge, like the main characters, would just be like merchants that don't care about discovering new people.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
It'd be kind of comedic, you know.
You could do Cosmic Encounter, but it would basically be Game of Thrones in space.
Yeah.
Don't touch.
Which I'd watch.
Yeah, Game of Thrones in space. I mean, you'd make it feel different, and it would feel different because of its environment, but you know, that seedy underbelly of space where people are just betraying and making deals and then betraying. And that's Game of Thrones. I know. I know. But you're gonna sit here and touch the computer, which we're not doing because that's how things break, and that's how I end up leaving the show.
I'm just waiting for your screen to go bloop, go
It's
away.
gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
And the second that happens, I'll just close off the show. But actually, we are pretty much at the end of the show, unless you have other ideas for the games that we talked about for going to series.
Those are Alan. That just seems. It just seems like. It seems like that's been done. Maybe not. I mean.
Well, I mean, actually, I'll talk to that a little bit. The Gloomhaven, because it did pop up in my head, but I would rather see a D&D thing. And the reason why I'd rather see D&D, and, it's kind of the same universe and stuff. But the reason why I'd like to see D&D is because I would like the idea that you get to see everybody at level 1. And as the series goes up and up and up, you start to see them become more and more powerful. Like, I don't want them to go, "Ooh, I'm level 3 now." Like that'd be dumb. But you'd watch them grow as sorcerers, learning new spells, or fighters becoming more powerful and learning new tricks from their trainer and stuff like that. Like, I want to see growth of their power so that at the end of the entire series, like, I don't know, like 10 seasons, 5 seasons, whatever, you pace it out so that at the end of it, they're level 20 and they're fighting dragons and all this other stuff, So that's why I would pick D&D or more Waterdeep or something like that over Gloomhaven.
Yeah, it'd be that kind of thing. It makes me think of God of War. Like I don't know if you ever played a God of War video game, but you always start off uber mega strong with all the stuff, and then something happens and everything's taken away from you, and then you got to start again.
You do that with Zelda too. Every time you play Zelda, they take away all your stuff, and you're like, ugh.
Luca, stop. You can't stand on the table. That's not gonna
I don't know how we'd get up there. I can't get up on the table.
He's an agile little kid, I'll tell you.
But yeah, so anyway, that's our top 5 and a whole bunch of others that we thought of for it. If you're watching this not live, comment below and let us know other ideas, things that we forgot. I know there's stuff that we've forgotten. I mean,
yeah, I'm sure there is.
I only looked at the games that I played. I didn't even look at the shelves of the ones I haven't played yet because I couldn't speak to them that much. So I know there's tons of games that I didn't even consider.
Yeah, I mean, every one of them you could talk. Like, I'm looking over here at what's like. I mean, you could make anything a game or a series. You can turn almost anything, even if it's just a mini series or like a one-off kind of 1 hour long special or something. You can make anything.
Like this puppet guy, he needs his own series.
Nope. They've already done that. It's called Annabelle, and no, I'm good.
All right. Well, anything else you want to remind everybody about before we go?
Like and subscribe, hit the bell, because in future episodes we're going to be able to. We got something special from Cardboard Alchemy that we're going to be giving away.
All right.
Some of you will be seeing it at QSCon. I got special permission from Peter to show it off, give it to some people, and mention it at QSCon, and it will be the first time that it's available. I mean, obviously, some of us already have it as content creators, but it'll be the first time that people can actually get it in their hands outside of not being able to announce it until a certain time. So some of you will see it this weekend at the con. But yeah, like and subscribe, because not only do we have the show on October 21st for Potion Con, but once October hits, we're going to be doing comment on a video or comment in a live chat or do something where you'll be able to get this thing. So you might want to make sure you're aware of when that's going to happen. So if you haven't done the thumb or hit the bell or done a rain dance to make sure you get notified when we go live, do whatever you need to do, because that'll be happening soon.
Oh my God, look at this. Look at what was shared. That is so weird to see us up on a television.
Who's that? Who did that?
That is so strange. Sorry, clicking off of stuff. That's from Alan. I think. Yeah, Alan.
Alan's watching us in the living room
on a big television.
TV. That's bonkers.
That's crazy.
That's weird.
I don't want to be on a big TV.
No, I don't want to see my face on a big TV either. Fuck that.
Someone is yelling right now. Oh, it's Permafrost yelling in our Discord. What is it? What is it from Cardboard Alchemy?
Oh yeah, because Bay is a Flamecraft fan. So
yep,
I might already have one for you. Don't worry. Yeah, Alan, Peter, we were just talking about you. We just had the whole PotionCon thing up there, and I teased a little people about a little bit about the thing that's going to be unveiled in October. And Alan, you'll definitely be missed, but I'm very much looking forward to next year because we'll make up for it not only here in Syracuse but in Costa Rica. So be ready, buddy. Also,
okay,
Peter, thank you again. I know I posted about it. This is on a personal note, but I posted about it on the Discord and I posted about it on my personal. But Peter had sent a couple copies for Play to Win support for QSCon, and Peter also threw in a plushie meat dragon and a plushie bread dragon for Luca and Mika. And when I got the box and I opened it and I gave it to the kids, I took a picture of their excitement, and I got 2 great pictures of them hugging the dragons. And I've talked about it before, like, good people doing good things in the industry, but and we know it, like, we know the good people, we know what people do, but what we do, we don't necessarily see the impact of what it does to people, right? Like the joy it brings to people that, are playing our games or watching videos or doing whatever later on, that we don't necessarily, we see everybody in the chat and live. And when we see them in person, your show was funny or you had me laughing, but we don't necessarily see the impact that a lot of this stuff has on people that are not necessarily in the industry, just hobbyists or families or, friends that just get together and play stuff. And the moment that they were hugging the dolls was just, it was a very poignant reminder that the stuff that we do has an impact, right? And you just might not see it. So I wanted to make sure, like, I don't know, just as a little reminder, like we're responsible for doing things in this industry, and we have a greater impact than we know. So, like, I talk about being an ambassador for the hobby and continuing to do good things and for good people or promote good people or whatever. And it's just it was a nice reminder that you don't necessarily know what you do, how what you do impacts people, right? You don't get to see that stuff every day. You don't get to see every time somebody plays Asking for Troubles and has an amazing experience and everyone's laughing and joyous around it. You don't get to see that when that stuff is happening. You just know you created this thing, you put it out there, and you hope people enjoy it. And you don't get to see that all the time. So it was really cool to see.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say all the same stuff you did, so I agree. It's kind of humbling whenever you see that moment that you're like, oh man, I'm doing that kind of thing, and seeing those pictures of your kids with the dragons stuff. That's awesome. That makes you go like, man, that makes it so worth making those things, right? Games or even the stuffed animals and stuff like that. This is weird, by the way.
It can be.
We can't have this be a thing.
Who's that now?
That's Permafrost. I'm going to use the name for their thing.
So here's the one of Luca. For those that didn't see it.
Yeah.
And I had just opened the box and gave it to him and his brother. And I think I have the brother one. Here, there's Mika. And their eyes were wide. They started smiling, and then more Luca. Mika had no idea what he was looking at, and then he was like, "Oh, I want it." But Mika was so excited about it, and then immediately wrapped his hands around it and started hugging it. And it was really cool. Not only as a reminder to me, but I wanted to remind other people. Like when you create something, not only like you're putting stuff out there, but again, you don't get to see it. You don't get to see what it does outside of like, here it is. And then that's it, right? You send it out there and you hope everything goes well, and you don't necessarily see it. So not specifically just this, just as a reminder of there's this thing you create that people love and you don't get to see it all the time.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that's a good note to end everything on. Be good to people, all that stuff, all that nice person stuff.
Be good to good people. There are shitbags out there and they don't deserve your kindness, but it doesn't take a lot to be kind to people that deserve the kindness. So like, you don't know what people are going through. You don't know what hardships they have to live with on a daily basis. You just know like there are other people that go through the same shit. What was it? It was last year, I think, or 2 years ago. We're not in the same boat. Oh, you know, you always say like, oh, we're in the same boat, right? All right. We're not necessarily in the same boat because everybody's in a different boat living their life, but we're all in the same storm. And I thought that was interesting, right? Like we're not in the same boat. We're all walking different paths in life, but we're all in the same storm. So just let's get through it together.
All right. Well, with that note, we'll say goodbye to everybody. Have a good KooksCon. KooksCon?
You said it wrong, and you said it right.
Like a Q?
Sure, yeah. Like a Q.
Syracuse? Syracuse. Have a good con, man.
Thank you, brother. I'll miss you. I wish you were here, but we'll look forward.
Yeah. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.
See you soon.